on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, miss you every day. You like my oxygen. Make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Dionna, hi. How's it going from Las Vegas?
Woo, it's Vegas, baby. Everybody's, well, it's the middle of the day, so everybody's awake, but everybody's been awake all night too.
Yeah, no sleep till Vegas. And hey, when you look at this, I wanted you to talk about, you've got events in Miami, Dubai, all over the world.
Yeah.
You've got kind of our first sponsorship here that we want to take a look at. You've got an event in Miami that you can't be at because you're a world traveler. Can you tell us a little bit about it as I pull up the details? It's a Bitcoin halving event.
It is. So Crypto Media Hub, presented by Tatiana and Friends, is throwing a Bitcoin halving event in Miami on 4/20. And for those of you who don't know Tatiana, she was like one of the original 2013 OG, found Bitcoin. She's somewhat of a maxi. She writes songs. She's traveled the world. Actually, we've traveled the world together. She's one of my favorite people, but this party is, I mean, it's going to be pretty awesome. She's been known to throw some good ones. You're going to have all kinds of vendors there. I think the Bitcoin car is going to be there. So it's an event you're not going to want to miss for sure.
And look at that. A love song for idiots. I mean, DJ Skrilla, Alex Vidal, and the Free Knots. I mean, it's all in all going to be a great event. Right. So we're excited for you.
Yeah, it's Miami. So I'm going to be in Dubai. I was supposed to be there. Somebody please go and party in my place. It is going to be amazing. And I want to see lots of pictures and make me feel bad that I'm not there, which shouldn't be too hard.
Yes. And I want people to feel bad if they've already watched the video this far and they have not subscribed, liked, or shared this channel. I mean, it's time. It's all time high. Like, let's get it going. It's that time.
Yes.
Well, now as we kind of jump into the episode, there's a lot going on. You just mentioned some of it coming up with a halving. Any thoughts based on where we are with that from your perspective?
Yeah. So let's just a quick dive for anybody who hasn't been following the show. Next week is the halving in Bitcoin. And what that means, when the code was originally written, it had these very specific dates in which it would pull back the amount of Bitcoin that's been released onto the people. So the miners, when they do it, they get rewarded in Bitcoin. So that number is going to be cut in half from 9 to 4.5, which means the amount of Bitcoin on the market is going to get less and less as we close in on that number of 21 million Bitcoin ever made.
And that's really amazing to think about, that we're almost 90 to 94%. The demand is increasing, the supply is decreasing, and the price, who knows where it's going to go. But the idea right now, given those macroeconomic factors, would otherwise indicate, not financial advice, that it's headed up. But we'll see. Yes. Time will tell.
Yep. Yeah. And so, I know that this is a hot topic for memes in this episode. And I think it's worth a note, right? When we start talking about the memes on Bitcoin, like, what do you want to give that one to? Because I have a perspective on that and what it's going to do as far as the all-time high. But I wanted to hear your take on what Bitcoin's doing.
Well, I kind of have hedged, thinking that once it got to market cap around 1 trillion, that it would, if you will, kind of level out. And it hasn't necessarily done that. It's continued to trend higher. So I'm cognizant that was just an artificial barrier in my mind. Yep. So I'm not going to even listen to my own financial advice. I'm going to clear my mind and listen to what you otherwise think about the possibilities.
Yeah. So to be able to put meme coins on Bitcoin, let's think about it for a second. So you just took a technology that was meant as a financial instrument, and you added a utility aspect to it. Where it gets really interesting is, in order for something to be facilitated on the Bitcoin network, it takes Bitcoin. So where you see this, what is it, 600 billion, a trillion, how much today in Bitcoin? It's a lot, right? So those daily transactions are actually going to increase because now you both have a product on that chain and you're required to use that chain in order to facilitate that project. So you could potentially have just increased the market cap by a third to a half, timing this with the halving. This is not financial advice, but again, you got the ETFs, you've got an additional use case on Bitcoin, and you've got the amount of Bitcoin going into the world cut in half as of next week. I mean, it says it for itself, I think, people, right? Like, all-time high, we're getting there. We've been there, we're going there. It's just going to keep going up, in my opinion, not financial advice.
And it may go back. If you will, I'm taking a look at the coin market cap presently, And when I pull up that detail here, you're going to see, not coincidentally, that the market cap's 2.63 trillion. And right now, Bitcoin is roughly over half of that at 1.385 trillion. So that's a big chunk of change. I mean, it's the OG. It's going to be in all the news. It's going to be the thing. And yes, the principles for an increase in price occur. Although I will say the one thing that, kind of to argue, not even argue, but just debate the other side of the coin is the buy the rumor, sell the news. So like on the 20th, the news is going to be about the halving, and some people will use that as an exit strategy. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Yep.
Well, I wanted to zoom out a little bit today and talk about some of the macro factors associated with what's going on out there. And there was a really great podcast episode last week about navigating a tokenized future. And it has two people, Raoul Pal and Howard Lindzon. And we're going to take a look at two quotes. And I'm not sure if I said that name right or wrong or whatever. It's a really difficult name to say.
Yeah.
But he's a really bright guy, understands the impact that crypto is having. And he's able to look at it from not only like the financial perspective based on his experience with Goldman Sachs, but he's also looking at it from a societal perspective. So let's take a listen to what it is that he's going to say. And then I want to get your feedback on that. Let me make sure I get to the right cut.
I love the perspectives, right? And I think that's the great thing about Bitcoin is you get it from all sides.
For sure. Let's take a listen.
Wait till Taylor Swift has a token economy or sports teams properly. This is where it's going.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to a world where we will have equity in our culturally important things to us. In a world of AI replacing jobs, this is the future. You can't see it yet because it's super speculative and it's super early. But what we're doing is we're creating little mini groups of tokenized economies around ideas, memes, culture. We're tokenizing culture. And as you rightly say, Howard, this was a moment that people look back on, much like they'll look back on NFTs from last cycle. NFTs in the end are going to be every single ticket, every single contract. Mm-hmm. But that was the start. It happened to be art.
Wow. Have you thought about it that way, Dionna, or do you kind of already know this is where it's headed?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with his point of view. It is where it's headed. I mean, to be able to digitize and say, I own the rights to this or I'm a part of this, I think is a very, very powerful technology within our, in the world. And you're seeing more and more people adopt it. Weren't we just talking about the Houston Texans? They were looking at, or maybe it was the Astros. I don't know. But one of them was looking at doing like NFTs and getting into this tokenization, right? Because it is the future. It is a more secure way of operating, doing things. And it adds a fun component to it. Could you imagine having like the rookie NFT of the quarterback for the Houston Texans last year? And what, if you were to digitize, sports cards, what that actually would be worth? And to know that the franchise can continue to take the royalties for each sale that happens, that's where it gets really interesting, especially when you start getting into music rights.
Oh, I'm going to go one step further. I'm already ready to put this program together. In fact, forget investment advice, if we've got investors out there, me having worked at Nike and understanding, like working on part of the deal for the Toyota Center, I've thought about the tokenization of the sports buildings at a collegiate or professional level. Do you think people would buy in to say that they own a part of that stadium?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's so difficult. I think the Green Bay Packers and maybe the Boston Celtics are the only publicly traded, and they're privately, I mean, they have stock that's been issued in those particular sports entities.
Yeah.
But what if you could buy for Texas or Texas A&M or Harvard or Princeton? I mean, right? Like you talk about a way, and the reason I bring up the Ivy Leagues and these other football schools, traditionally speaking, is that you're talking about growing the endowment for the university. Yeah. You're talking about gaining ownership for a piece of a prized possession without necessarily costing you anything else, but it's authenticated on the blockchain.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible way to build revenue in my mind right now, but I may be early to the game too.
No, I think it's huge, but this is where it's going to get a little tricky, right? So if I were to buy an NFT or something and I'm then paid dividends, you're looking at something that could be considered a security. depending on, or a DAO, right? So this is where the legal system has to catch up to the technology, because I think some of those lines are still just so blurred. But you think of, you can have a community, everybody chips in some money, you chip in some money, you get this NFT, and you just now facilitated whatever program at the arena. And if that program takes off, maybe you are paid the dividends out of it. And then you just got royalties to the arena with no cost out of pocket while introducing this entirely new thing that the people wanted anyways. So all these use cases are new and they're exciting, because let's be honest, everybody is tired of the upper half, like being able to access everything and having all of the best ways to invest and double their money. And the rest of us just want to be able to get in there, play, and do the things that we can do. And this is a way of leveling that playing field. And I love it.
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting. I mean, if you followed it when the Denver Broncos sold a few, I don't know, 2 years ago now, they had a DAO that put a bid out on this. And so you point a very key element of this is it's like you've been listening to all these people that talk about doing this way or that way, but it's a way for you to get a buy-in, a way for you to participate that's different than before. And you know, one of the things I knew we were headed to an all-time high. I just didn't know that this meme coin thing was going to keep going and growing like it has. That was the part that I didn't see. I was I'm such a utility guy, a little bit too smart for my own good at times, but I'm watching this meme coin. And so I was looking for some rationale in order to explain this dynamic. And I think I finally found it. Is it all right if I share this with you and get your feedback?
Now taking the fees to zero. You don't need Bloomberg. You don't even need Discord anymore. You need Deck Screener. You don't need the Wall Street Journal. You don't need Goldman Research. You don't need to pay DraftKings. You don't need to deal with what Gensler is saying. You can make 1,000x without and be in the 0.001% of knowledge and continue to do this and don't even have to tune into anybody.
And it's a team sport.
Team sport.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's also a team sport, but it's also a war. It's also a war.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's super risky and everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows the game they're playing.
There might be language here.
Dude,
nobody doesn't think
and
that
that's
most
the
of these games are
newest.
zero.
So we went to Bitcoin with crossover. This meme coin weekend on StockTwits, where everything trending is a funny meme coin, isn't maybe a short-term top. I'm not going to argue with that because I'm not a timer, but it definitely long-term says these are not going away. We flipped over to this new world, which is all pattern recognition, all technical, all price, all team-based, all fuck the man. Donald J.
Oh.
Hey, that's my kind of man.
Not that kind of language on this show. Whoever thought we'd be
F the man.
And I am wondering if that's not exactly where this whole meme coin thing has been headed the whole time. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. One thing I do want to say, they say you don't have to listen to anybody. That's not necessarily true, because I think you should tune in and listen to us because we have fun things to say and we're very smart when it comes to this industry. But going back to, people want a new fun way of making money. Like it's inspiring to know that I don't have to go to school. I don't have to do any of the traditional things, and I can still end up a millionaire just by paying attention to technology. And I think that that's a refreshing breath of fresh air that we've needed for a long time in this world.
Well, you know what? You're hitting, and I didn't know that I'd get to 3 cuts today, but let me make that effort because I think it's worth it based on what you just said. I didn't necessarily see this coming, but I think it's worth playing. Let's take a listen to some of the odds. And maybe it's F the man as part of it too, but maybe it's also analytical. Maybe it's statistical.
I'll give you a number that I think people need to understand.
What numbers?
Americans spent 110 billion on lottery tickets last year.
Oh, yeah.
There's a 1 in 300 million probability of getting the payout. Of a smaller payout, let's say $1 million, it's probably 1 in 20 million. But if you go to the meme coin casino in a trending market, your probability is probably 20x better. So if you are a 25-year-old, you have no chance of buying a house, the S&P's too goddamn expensive for you to buy it, here's your opportunity. You can make 100x, 1,000x, 10,000x. We've seen them all in the last 2 months. And so, of course, it's going to attract people, and it's rational behavior because they don't have a way out. So even, Phil, your example of...
It's rational behavior.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the other side of it. Like, if you're playing the odds, you've got a better chance of winning on the meme coin bet than you do at playing the lottery. So maybe I'll skip the lottery this week and play some meme coin action.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I never understood the people who would look at us and be like, oh, you do crypto or oh, you do this, but they play the lottery. It's like, Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit judgmental. I mean, we're not here to judge people. We're not here to say something's good or bad. We're just sharing with you our
If
kind
they're
of.
judging us, if they're
Oh,
judging
for
us,
sure.
like we're the risky ones, you know what I mean? But I think that, so is it rational behavior, or does desperation cause irrational behavior where people just are more likely to go all in, right? Where a lotto ticket is $5, maybe you dropped $1,000 on a meme coin, right? So it's not exactly apples to apples, one to the other, but I think the point was that they're both risky. But when people see the chances of the payout, like you just said, statistically, like he said, statistically, I could do better in a meme coin. Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. And so I'm going to avoid the philosophical and take it to where somebody took me and said, hey, Jim, have you invested in this meme coin? It's not financial advice, but we want to take a quick look at it. We're not going to dive deep into the rabbit hole, but there is a new meme coin that is coming out that is allegedly the first one that is available on Bitcoin. So, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Can't
huge.
believe this when you see it. I'm just going to smile and just keep smiling. Let's see if this is maybe the article. Yep, there's the deal. It's a meme coin up 1,000% ahead of Rune's launch. I don't even know if I'm saying that properly.
Wow.
But it's valued at $41. It's being held in anticipation of the halving. And here, let me see if I can share another screen with you that'll provide you with more detail, which is its actual website.
Oh, yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
and people just jump on this trend. So if you see one, you're going to see another, and it's early. It's an early market. So the chances of hitting big on this, I think statistically are in your favor. Higher. Not financial advice.
I know. And then as I pull the screen up, I mean,
You're like,
this
seriously?
is that gambling. We're going to have fun. We're going to, F the man.
Yeah. Who doesn't want some pups?
Who wants some pup? Oh my gosh, not financial advice. I don't know your risk tolerance. Do your own research. But it's alleged to be the first meme coin on Bitcoin. People are talking to me about it, sharing with me the details on it. It's got the background, and it's forever changed the cryptocurrency landscape by conducting the first ever successful BRC20 token airdrop. And so the initial investors, my understanding right now, look, Mintonomics, they get access to it, and then upon the halving, you'll be able to invest and watch as the coin trades. I've got some of the price action to share. It is not currently on Coin Market Cap, but it is on CoinGecko. What are your thoughts as I kind of pull that up?
Well, couple, right? I think this is just what $100, you throw up a website, you could put together the tokenomics are a little more complicated. And I don't know who exactly did the, who designed, what'd you call it? The BRC20 token.
I don't either.
That's obviously quite some talent, but $100 on a website, and look at, you could be trending at, where'd they start off in March, early March?
February 25th, February 24th. Yeah. Right place, right time. They knew the tech. Look at the market cap.
What is that?
379 billion.
Is that 50x in a month?
I mean, yeah, come on.
More than.
Day one was $3,000. So I don't know what they did on the issuance.
0.07 up to 50 is how many? That's almost
oh my God.
Almost 100x.
I can't even calculate that. I mean, I don't even know how to calculate that.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a 1x. I'm looking for a double, maybe a triple, and this thing is like popping up. There it is.
It's up there.
138,619.44%
in a month. Okay, so let's talk about it.
Let's put $1 in.
What are the chances it's going to crash? Yeah. What now? You had that. What was the one that we looked at like a week or two ago, where
Athena
you saw that
AI.
1 month of a total pump? Yeah, and then it just crashed right afterwards. So you could be seeing mid pump right now. Who knows how long it's really going to last? But I would anticipate probably a sharp drop at some point. It also depends on how long are the people locked up for? Is this on the open market? You know what I mean? What is this just what people are buying at? So
and I don't even, I think I asked someone, and I'm looking for my phone to give me an idea of where I can buy this, because that's probably the next logical question. I don't have the answer. So this is one of those where you do your own research. It may be over here on the left-hand side. But
yeah, make sure it's the right one. And if we happen to find it, maybe we drop the link in the show notes.
For sure.
Not promoting, just if
Not
you're
at all.
interested in doing your own research.
This is us reporting. This is
Yeah.
this is newsworthy. It is taking that trend line. This might have been around the time that they did something more internationally or even nationally. That's one of the things too, I think that's worth noting. I mean,
Yep.
it's harder to control what's transpiring here because it does have those international dynamics. It's harder
Yep.
to influence the control that one would normally exert as a country.
Yeah. Would you buy a Pup Meme Coin for $50?
Now, I think I'm going to. I mean, for me, it isn't if I would, it's can I. Like some of it's the intricacies of finding the network and the system. And here's my one rule of thumb, and I don't know if it's good or bad, Dionna, you can tell me, but I have a problem paying more in gas fees than the cost of the transaction. So I won't pay $50 in gas fees for a $50 coin. I might pay $50 for 500 or 5,000, but I need scale. That's all I'll say.
So a couple interesting things. One, when I think of meme coin, I think of NFT, but these aren't NFTs, right? It's like, it's an actual just meme coin. What do they call it? A BRC20. It shouldn't have, it's not Ethereum. So the gas prices should not equate to what Ethereum is because they're completely different consensus of how they regulate. You know what I mean?
Understood. I just know exchanges, whether it's Coinbase or Uphold or any of them, are going to take their chunk of change. That's all. Not to.
No, yeah, of course they are. Hey, and actually, what we're talking about, the meme coin.
So does Charles Schwab. Fight the man. Fight the man.
When we're talking about the meme coin train, do you have that meme coin that I sent you when we talked about the halving party? And so we were talking about pups, right? I think I emailed it to you. And so Tatiana, she's a little bit of a Bitcoin maxi because she's been in and that's what she sings about. She's a libertarian. So she hears about this, Pup Meme Coin, and she's putting out a meme coin that has to do with the halving party. And I just had to laugh so hard when she showed it to me because I'm like, of course, that's what you did. That's her Pup Meme Coin. So Bitcoin maxi, Pup Meme Coin on the Bitcoin network, halving party, Miami 420.
That's her head.
I think so. Yeah. Well, you got to come to the party to find out.
Is she going to issue the coin or no? Is she issuing a coin? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm expecting like a BRC20 because that's the first time I've heard that. So that's going to be like part of this pups. And if she's got a pup and there's pups and that's whole having.
Yeah, I think you should.
She's right in the middle of this.
You have kind of my personality anyways.
In Miami,
I think you do
less.
well.
Oh my gosh. I hate that you're going to miss it. I might have to fly out there for you and kind of represent. I mean.
Nope.
Yeah, the all-time high. I mean, we got that kind of like the wind at her back and then the energy that this is bringing and the music and everything. I mean, it just can't stop us. You only hope to contain us. That's right.
Bye.
Dionna, thanks again for another great episode. Everybody enjoy your day and we'll be back soon with another episode of All Time High.
I'm so sorry. My internet kicked me off. I was like...
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got